All right, so we've taken a look at what are the couple different types of fractions, and now we're going to take a look at how do we convert fractions between forms. Now, a regular fraction is just a regular fraction. That's not going to change at all. But we could have mixed numbers and improper fractions that can go back and forth, and we may have to change them kind of as we go. So an improper fraction can always be described by a mixed number, and in the same way that a mixed number can be shown as an improper fraction. At times, it will be necessary to change a mixed number into an improper fraction. And now, while both forms are acceptable as a final answer, improper fractions are much easier to use for doing operations in mathematics, and especially the stuff that we're going to be taking a look at over the course of in this course here. So let's take a look at a couple steps on how to convert the following mixed number to an improper fraction. So we have 2 2/3, which was a number that we had up on top, and we'll go through it from the last video there. The first thing we do is to create an improper fraction, we're going to use the denominator from the mixed number as the denominator for the mixed fraction. So I'm going to make kind of a little equals arrow type thing, and we're going to make an improper fraction, so that means that we just have a numerator and a denominator, no whole number, and the denominator is going to stay exactly the same. So we're going to put a 3 right there. Now to change or to find our new numerator, what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the whole number by the denominator. So I'm going to do this on the side here. The whole number is 2, and we're going to multiply it by the denominator, which is 3, and then we're going to add in the numerator. So we're going to add 2. Now 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and so our new fraction is 8 over 3. Now just to show you here, this one here is 2 2/3 as well. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces, and they're all 1/3, so it's 8/3. Okay, so that's how we can change that into an improper fraction. Now let's try a couple more examples here. Let's convert each mixed number to an improper fraction. We'll go a little bit quicker here. Okay, 1 7/8. We're going to have an 8 on the bottom. And then we do 1 times 8. Now the little dot there is multiply. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit in class as well, but that little dot means multiply. You can also use a times sign, or the X sign. Okay, you can also use that X sign, but it's going to become a little more complicated as we're dealing with letters in algebra. And so for now, we're just going to use that little dot. So 1 times 8 is just 8. We add 7 is 15. So this means that it is 15 over 8. Or if we break a pizza into 8 slices, we're going to have 15 slices. So that's 1 full pizza plus almost another full pizza. We're just missing the one pizza there. Okay, and the final example is 4 2/5, or 2/5. So again, we're going to make that little equal sign there. That's just kind of what I do. All right, so 5 is going to be on the bottom, as that's our denominator. And then 4 times 5 plus 2. 4 times 5 plus 2, because there are 4 full ones, and each one's broken into 5 pieces. So if we do 4 times 5, that gives us all of them, which is 20. And then we add 2 more from that's kind of at the end. So that's 22. And so this is 22 over 5. Now again, this doesn't look quite as nice as a little mixed number here, but this becomes way easier, especially when you get into multiplying fractions. And even adding fractions, it can become easier, or can be easier as well, depending on what we need to do with it. So a improper fraction is very handy. Now on the other side, okay, if we want to go back to a mixed number, so rarely needed, but it can make for a nice answer, as I was saying, we can follow the following steps. Number 1, we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. Now when we're dividing, we keep the whole number as well as the remainder. So this is one place where we don't want a decimal answer. We just want a whole number and a remainder on there as well. So we're going to go through this example number 1 here, 6 over 5. I want to change that into a mixed number. So the first thing you need to do is divide it. 6 divided by 5. Well, how many times can we take 5 out of 6? That's what dividing is, right? We can take it out once. So 6 divided by 5 is 1 with a remainder of, well, how many are left over, right? 1 remainder 1. Actually, maybe make those to be 1s, not i's necessarily. Okay, 1 with a remainder of 1, so it'll be 1 full. Okay, you can take 1 5 out of a 6, and there will be 1 remainder. So the whole number will be the new whole number for the next number. The remainder okay, is the new numerator. That was the 1, so 1, remainder 1. And the denominator is going to stay the same. Here is a 5. It's going to stay a 5. Just like with changing it the opposite way, we kept the same denominator. Here, we're going to keep the same denominator as well. So this is 1 full and then 1/5 of that next one. Okay, we have 1/5 left over. 3 over 2. Okay, 3 over 2. How many 2's can we take out of 3? Well, again, if we do 3 divided by 2, we're going to have 1 remainder 1. Look at that, it's exactly the same. But in this case here, we're changing up our denominator, so it changes up how big the pieces are. So this is a 1 with a 1 over 2. 1 and 1/2 might also be mentioned. Okay, so it's 1 and 1/2, or 1 remainder 1, and there are 2 pieces to each, so that is why it looks like that. All right, 5 over 8. Now you're saying, wait a minute, this one looks a little fishy. That's not an improper fraction. And no, it's not. It's actually a regular number. But let's take a look at how this works. How many times can 8 be taken out of 5? Well, 0 with the remainder of 5. Okay? That's a little bit interesting. So this means that the whole number is 0, so it would be the same as 0 and 5 over 8. Well, if we have a 0 there, do we actually need to write it? No, we don't. We can cross that off. It's just 5 over 8. So that was just kind of a little bit of a thing to see how that kind of worked. Just wanted to show that to you. The last one here, 25 over 4. Now this is a bit bigger number, so we're going to be dealing with a bit bigger numbers as well. 25 over 4. Well, 4 goes into 25 6 times. 6 full times. And 6 times 4 is 24. That means that we're going to have a remainder of 1. A lot of remainder 1s, apparently. So this means that our whole number is going to be 6. And we're going to have 1 over 4 remaining, 1/4 remaining. So 25 over 4 is the same as 6 full ones with 1 part left over, so that 1/4 is left over. All right, so that is the end of that one there. There are 2 questions just on converting between those 2 forms. So questions 3 and 4 on your assignment, you can take a look at that, or you can continue going through the notes and getting to the end.